How far out can you get? That's the big question in television today, and CBS has the big answer. Its fabulous new series, Lost in Space.
In 1965, the CBS network announced the debut of what would become television's first primetime science fiction series.
Wouldn't Dad like to use this gadget to beat that throughway traffic?
Set in the far future of 1997, Lost in Space told the story of a family of space colonists who become marooned on an alien world. It underscored America's growing acceptance that mankind's future was not here on Earth, but out in the vast reaches of the galaxy. This trend continued when the following year, NBC premiered Star Trek, the epic saga of a futuristic starship whose crew is charged with exploring the galaxy, seeking out new life and new civilizations, and going where no man or woman had ever gone before. Interestingly, both programs would appear in America's living rooms years before mankind would even step foot on the moon.
It is amazing that today we are living in times where only 40, 50 years ago, people were fantasizing about the future. And here we are, experiencing that said future. Not all of it, but many things. Where do we stand 50 years from now? I think science fiction is a part of disclosure. Over time, science fiction has become science fact.
Ignition sequence start.
Of course, science fiction's role in pre-envisioning what would ultimately become the world's science fact was nothing new. But are many of today's scientific wonders merely the product of fertile minds and wild imaginations? Or do they have their origins elsewhere, possibly light years away?
There's an interesting theory, the idea that certain profound science fiction writers may not have just simply come up with the ideas for their stories on their own, albeit they may have thought they came up with the ideas on their own. Perhaps there was an outside force presenting it to them. Have science fiction authors and writers been inspired by extraterrestrials?
Could extraterrestrials have given humanity glimpses of its own future through science fiction? And if the creative minds of the past have been able to pre-envision the incredible technologies of the present day, then should we also regard the science fiction of today as a guide to where mankind is headed next?
Where do we stand 50 years from now? And if we're talking about science fiction today, one recurring theme is what happens if we gain the ability to upload our consciousness to some type of a computer? Is it possible that our future may lie in a digital realm? I would not want my thoughts to be uploaded to a computer, because then we really become glass. This planet will cease to exist within 2 seconds if we all know each other's thoughts. So there's a fine line we have to walk between what can and will ensure our future and what can and will be our assured annihilation.
According to many ancient astronaut theorists, the visions of a bleak future, as depicted in today's science fiction, could, if realized, prove as perilous as they once seemed profound. But they also suggest that the messages that mankind's visionaries receive may not be dire predictions as much as they are warnings. Warnings intended to help mankind avoid annihilation.